Now, I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. There are children playing in the streets who could solve some of my top problems in physics because they have modes of sensory perception that I lost long ago. The optimist thinks this is the best of all possible worlds. The pessimist fears it is true. There must be no barriers to freedom of inquiry. There is no place for dogma in science. Physics is like sex. Sure, it may give some practical results, but that's not why we do it. There is no doubt that scientific inquiry is a potent tool for human understanding. The atomic bomb made the prospect of future war unendurable. It has led us up those last few steps to the mountain pass, and beyond there is a different country. The history of science is the history of overcoming our own ignorance. To be a scientist is to be Macron v. We are so focused on our search for truth, we fail to consider how few actually want us to find it. The most important scientific revolutions all include, as their only common feature, the dethronement of human arrogance from one pedestal after another of previous convictions about our centrality in the cosmos. There is no weapon more powerful than truth. The physicist, in his study of natural phenomena, has two methods of making progress: 1. The method of experiment and observation, and 2. The method of mathematical reasoning. Science does not have a moral dimension. It is like a knife. If you give it to a surgeon or a murderer, each will use it differently. The highest forms of understanding we can achieve are laughter and human compassion. Knowledge of the world is derived by observation and experimentation. Humans are part of the world. Any scientific study of humans is therefore a study of ourselves. It is not possible to be a physicist without having a faith that the world is comprehensible within some order or other. We do not know what the rules of the game are, but we are still players in the game. The feeling of awed wonder that science can give us is one of the highest experiences, of which the human psyche is capable. It is perfectly obvious that the whole world is going to hell. The only possible chance that it might not is that we do not attempt to prevent it from doing so. There are some who advocate that science should be guided mainly by social considerations. I am afraid that in the end, if it is guided by anything other than interest in what is true, it will not deserve the name science. It is only those who have neither fired a shot, nor heard the shrieks and groans of the wounded, who cry aloud for blood, more vengeance, more desolation, war is hell. In the laboratory there are no fashions quite so ridiculous as those that prevail in physics. The scientists of today think deeply instead of clearly. One must be sane to think clearly, but one can think deeply and be quite insane. Physics is becoming so unbelievably complex that it is taking longer and longer to train a physicist. It is taking so long, in fact, to train a physicist to the place where he understands the nature of physical problems, that he is already too old to solve them. In the back of my mind was the thought that, when we move out into new space, we are in a position to discover new laws of nature. Scientists are the janitors of knowledge. They clean up the messes left by those who think they know things. In some sort of crude sense, which no vulgarity, no humor, no overstatement can quite extinguish, the physicists have known sin, and this is a knowledge which they cannot lose. The best way to send information is to wrap it up in a person. The world looks so different after learning science. For example, trees are made of air. Primarily, when they are burned, they go back to air, and in the flaming heat is released the flaming heat of the sun, which was bound in to convert the air into tree. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.